Yeah, because that's my
for
next
the airport.
deal.
But yeah, I know there
Alrighty.
was some in the group chat in the group chat. Are you guys in that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know someone posted it a while ago, but it's been a minute
In
since
the general econ or just the Seda econ?
I think it's just the econ.
Okay. I'll look.
Yeah, I'll take a look too.
Yeah, I'm gonna be looking for those later for sure.
Yeah. Do you guys know?
Did everyone finish? Oh, sorry.
No, you're going. Not bad.
Oh no, I was just wondering if everyone finished their post chapter thingy.
We were just
I'm in the
talking
middle
about
of
that.
it now.
Yeah, some of us are still doing it.
Okay, I finished mine if anyone needs help.
Finish mine as well.
Yeah, I finished mine too.
I was asking if I don't know if I can start, but I was asking Carlos before, and we're kind of having a little issue with it about one of the questions. Is it okay if I share my screen with you guys and just show you real quick? Is that okay, Carlos, with you? I know I showed you already, but
You're good.
I'm,
You're good.
okay.
It's
Real
better to get
quick,
multiple input.
because I got it wrong again, Carlos. I did that thing.
Oh, then I was wrong. My fault. It might be.
I was just writing her an email actually about it because it's phrased very poorly. So for this one right here, you guys can see, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So for this one right here, it gives you the price, right? And then it gives you the budget. So it'd be like 10x plus 10y equals 50. So you get 5 of each. So, and then it also says, suppose that she has already bought one DVD and one CD. So that's $20 off. Now it's a new technical budget of $30 she has left. And then she wants 3 more DVDs and 3 more CDs. So the first question asks, use the line drawing tool. Given the above prices and income, draw her budget line. So should I be drawing the budget line of the according to 50 or according to?
Yeah, 50.
Yeah.
50,
Okay,
yeah.
but then so I'll do that. But then for this down here though, we're making the 3 bundles of how she could spend it.
Mhm.
And then it says in considering what Katrina has already purchased. So that's assuming that we're taking the 1 DVD and CD into account. That means there's only $30 left, right?
No, it's always on the same budget line because she has the same budget. Budget's not something you change with the amount of money you've already spent on goods.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not going to be as complicated as shifting the budget line or something.
Yeah, all 3 points are on the budget line, or all 3 points are going to be on a budget line.
So when it says though, just to because it says what Katrina's already purchased, what is this information about the 1 DVD? Is it supposed to throw us off if we're not
It's
taking
just basically saying that when you plot your 3 bundles, each one has to have at least 1 DVD and 1 CD because she already bought one of those.
Mhm.
So you can't do it 0 CDs and
I see. I thought we're supposed to exclude 1 DVD, 1 CD out, and then just go. Okay, all right, I get it now. So
Mhm.
I'll make it normal and make sure I always have 1 DVD, 1 CD. Just pretend like she has
Even though it says suppose she has already bought, doesn't that mean she spent the money though? Because now
That's what I was thinking.
she still
I understand your confusion.
Oh,
Yeah, I was confused too, but she spent the money, the 1 DVD and 1 CD that she bought and that she has was she bought it with the original $50 that she has. So you just account for it when you do the price and when you do the amount.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you guys get does it tell you if you did it right at the end of the problem?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys got it right when you did that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay,
if you press at the top corner, when you press question help, it marks it wrong.
Yeah, I found it out the hard way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did it 2 times.
I clicked it by mistake and it got one wrong.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
It's so good to know.
Yeah, the only time
Okay.
you're going to have to deal with shifting the budget line is if it tells you specifically that your budget has increased or decreased, or if the price of one product has changed also. So you won't have to worry about moving the line any other time.
Got it.
I get you.
Cool.
Okay, perfect. I'll go ahead and do that then. Thank you for the help, whoever helped her.
Yeah. And then I'm just this is super free form. You guys can just open it up to any questions you got. I already did the homework, so.
So another one on the homework that I got wrong was, okay, I can't really share my screen right now because my Wi-Fi is being weird. But it's it was the one with the domestic flights and the domestic trip and then like foreign. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the domestic and the foreign, like
Yeah.
she has a certain amount of days off, and then
I
she
got
gets,
all of them right except for the last question where it was saying like if U is like, I forgot what the exact number was, but it was like, I don't know, like 7DF or something like that. Like the U of DF is like 7DF. Like what is like the like maximum, like what, like when you maximize it, how many like trips do you have, like days for domestic and then foreign? And I just like don't understand. Like I tried doing like the derivative thing that she did on like the last problem she did in class, but it wasn't working.
Let me try opening that up. I don't know which question it is.
Yeah. I know I wrote down some questions.
What question number was it?
For me, it was 12. I don't know if we all have the same like.
That's probably the same number.
Let me see. Yeah, mine's a bit different.
Wait,
No,
does
no,
your
here it is.
professor give you like practice quizzes?
She gives us a pre-quiz assignment and a post-quiz assignment, or a pre-lecture assignment and post-lecture assignment.
Because with my
Let's start with
professor, Nick, she has like pre-quizzes, not pre-quizzes, I mean quizzes that she has given out over the years, and also she has quiz tests that she has given out over the years on her Blackboard.
Yeah, ours are like graded though. So like.
Yeah.
No,
If
the
anyone
reason why I
started-
brought that up is because like maybe I could share a quiz or an exam or something, and then we can just go off of that or something.
Oh. Wait.
We could, yeah. Let's look at this question real quick, the one about domestic and foreign travel. And then we can take
I
a look.
literally guessed the point on that. If like you shift the U to fit it perfectly, I just like found the nicest point and it was right. I don't know how
That's what I did too. At first I got it wrong the first time because I just picked any point like that was close to the middle on the budget line. I was like, oh yeah, okay, that's probably like whatever combination, that's probably right. And then it said it's wrong, and then I like tried to get as close to the middle as possible, and then the numbers were right. I was like, okay, I guess.
Oh,
Yeah.
is that how you do it? You don't like calculate anything?
I don't know
Yeah.
if they're
Yeah, you can calculate it.
'Cause
Right.
I tried calculating it and it like didn't work.
So
Yeah, I think the numbers were
calculated.
like 23 or 25, and then like 3 for the.
Oh, shoot.
yeah.
But I don't have it in front of me, but just go to the like graph and look at like what is the middle of the budget line, and that should be the combination.
Wait, I'll try calculating it because I never even thought that was a possibility. Whoops.
I calculated
So
it wrong, but it depends on the ratio of the prices. That's what I got. So like, they're being really loud. I don't know if you guys can hear
Wait,
that.
so Carlos, what did you specifically do? Did you do the like utility thing that she did in class that I didn't understand?
No, with that you have to take the derivative, and that's just of the utility function, like respect
That's
to
what
one
I
of the
did.
variables.
That's what I did for this one.
But you just
But it
get 10 and then like the other variable, or you just get 10. So for either one.
Well,
so
for like MU of D, I'd get 10F, and for MU of F, I got 10D.
Yeah, I did the just the ratio of the prices. So it's what's it called? Like for domestic travel, it's 1 to 4 basically. So I put like for domestic travel is 20 days, and then divide that by 4, you just get 5. So I did a ratio of prices for the satisfaction.
Got you.
Or
That's
my
a smart
mistake.
way. I literally just looked at the line and was like, okay, what's in the middle?
Guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. Because for mine, if you take the derivative, because what it's supposed to be is the derivative of the utility function. Okay, so foreign travel's on the x-axis, right? So, and domestic travel's on the y-axis. I don't know if you just explained this. I wasn't listening while I was trying to figure it out. Wait, did you
Yeah.
explain that earlier?
He did the price ratio.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
think that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I didn't do
Okay, I
derivative.
just tell me if he already said this, but what I'm thinking is like, it's supposed to be for the Cooperman thing. I forgot what it's called, but since foreign travel's on the x-axis, it's x to y. So the ratio of the prices is equal to the derivative of the utility function with respect to foreign travel first over the derivative of the utility function with respect to the y-axis, so domestic travel. And for mine, that would be like d over f equals 4, and then you would just find the point that satisfies that ratio. I think you said that though, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I got too. Oh, that makes sense. So, like in further cases, if there is ever like a graph like that, do we just assume that like the middle point is the maximum, like satisfaction, or is that just?
For the most part, because
well,
I know there's like cases where it's like MRS doesn't match the
Mhm.
price ratio, so that's where you got to be careful, because it could be like a little bit off. But I think for the most part, yeah.
yeah, those are the corner graphs, right? The corner things.
Cornerstones
Yeah, where the maximum isn't
or
equal.
corner solutions.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, this is gonna sound so dumb, but can we go into that for a second? When it's the MRS doesn't match the price ratio, what does that really like mean?
The only time you buy or the maximum thing is a point where the MRS is not like the slope of the MRS isn't equal to the slope of the budget is when it's like a corner solution. Yeah, and you can't reach like the solution that the tangent line would be on because like it's off the graph basically.
Got it. Got it. Cool. Thank you.
So did anyone start going over 6, like chapter 6?
I need to.
Yeah, same. I was like trying to go over it today. I opened it up and I started reading and I just literally I was like, oh, like I can't do this, not today. Like,
I don't know. It's just so much extra work because she's just gonna explain the whole thing in class anyway.
But that's what I
exactly.
thought.
She goes
I
so
did
fast though, and she doesn't give you time to
Yes.
process it.
That's true.
She I just realized like after the fact, I was like, she doesn't really lecture. She just like says like a definition of what something is and then goes right into the problem. Doesn't take any questions and then like explains it. And then since we're so crunched for time, she'll like take one question, but then we'll like you said, explain it really fast and then go on to the next thing.
I literally get so lost. It's ridiculous. It's like she moves so fast, and then I'm like, I don't even know what you're answering at this point. It's so bad.
The only way I've been able to keep up is like just a lot of coffee. Oh my god, they're being really loud. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, like when I finally understand one concept, she's like on like another one, and I'm like, ah.
Like I ignored her whole explanation of one thing just to try to figure out the previous thing. And then after that I was like, crap.
Did you guys do well on the pre-lecture quiz for 5?
Yeah, well, at least for me.
I got -1, but that's just because I like did the second attempt. I just kind of like wrote down which question I got wrong and stuff.
See, I didn't realize that I could like actually kind of figure out which ones I got wrong. So I was just trying to guess which one I got wrong before, and I'm pretty sure I just answered another one wrong after that. It was so bad.
Yeah, honestly, my econ lab makes it so easy for us to like kind of just, our way through.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, don't the other teachers like not even use my econ lab?
Yeah, that's why I'm sad.
Yeah, I just don't understand why we have to do this. I really don't. And the other classes don't. I don't know.
I didn't know that. That's rough. I don't know. I was like, we got to take our quiz where it's like, it's just going to be a completely different format too. Or not a quiz, like our tests, where it's like we can't access anything.
I heard the tests are a lot harder than like what's on my econ lab.
Oh, and she like records us while we're taking it, right?
Yeah.
Which is really interesting.
Kind of creepy.
Yeah.
I just don't like the pre-lecture quizzes because like how does she expect me to like read a whole chapter and then like understand all the concepts before she even lectures and then like take a quiz on it? Like I just like I like don't understand how she expects us to do that.
Yeah.
I don't either.
Has
It's
anybody?
great.
She goes to USC, and so she had.
Who's talking? Finish talking.
Are you sure?
Oh yeah, don't worry. My thing's like freezing up, so.
All right. Did anybody finish the chapter 6 pre-lecture quiz yet?
No,
No, not yet.
not me at least.
Oh.
Okay.
I haven't. Yeah. Are you working on it?
I was gonna work on it today. I just finished doing my pre-lecture notes for chapter 6 yesterday, and I've been without internet for the past 24 hours because a transformer it caught fire yesterday morning.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Are you guys okay?
Yeah, we're fine. It was like a block down from us, but it was fine. It was a small fire, so hi Roxy. I'm working right now. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. We lost power for the majority of the day, and now we got power back, but we're still without internet. So I'm just doing everything at my sister's house right now. Roxy.
Okay. It's good that you have
Oh, yeah.
somewhere to go.
Yeah.
Hope it
Especially
gets
for-
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
So how was the reading? Was the reading like good or like confusing?
It's a little confusing, but I've taken microeconomics before, so I kind of remember it.
Okay.
The concepts for me are really easy. For me, when I took macroeconomics and microeconomics before, the entire thing about this class is that it has to be kind of self-taught. So just kind of keep repeating things. The professors are there to kind of help you grasp the concepts once you get a handle on it. Just, do as much as you can in your free time. Like for me, I even did some of I would take copies of what some of the graphs would look like and what their defining features were. I write down basically as much information as I can and then go over it later. So
Are you transferred?
yeah, I'm a transfer.
Oh, okay.
Are you
I think we're
all?
all. Are we all? I think we're all
freshmen?
transfers. Are we not?
I'm not transferred.
I'm a freshman.
I'm a freshman.
Oh, oops.
Oh.
I'm a transfer.
Yeah. So
No.
the
How much-
big key for freshmen for getting through this is, yeah, self-instruction is basically going to be your best friend. I would say.
Yeah,
At
this
least.
is just like a
Not-
lot for this class.
Not-
Is just I can already tell it's gonna be so much for first semester of college ever. But it's
Exactly.
Yeah.
wait, who else is freshman?
Oh, I am.
Oh, me.
Okay, cool. Not alone. Feels good.
Are any of you guys like the freshmen? Like, are any of you guys also taking like BU80 304?
I think I'm doing that.
I'm not this semester. Yeah.
I'm taking
That was
304,
like just
but
as
I'm
much
not a
reading as
freshman.
this one. Huh?
I'm taking 304, but I'm not a freshman.
No, that one is like so much reading too.
I'm
Yes,
taking
I freaking hate
305
it.
and 307.
How is that
How's
class?
7?
Yeah.
307 is confusing for me right now just because of the way it's formatted. For some reason, he's not assigning us homework except
By
it's
chance,
like
is that like marketing?
yeah, it's marketing class. A lot of it is going to be group work, but I still haven't gotten the textbook for it yet, so I'm a little confused on what's going on in the class, especially since it only meets 1 day a week.
Oh,
Uh,
what?
What?
You're
Yeah,
talking
it
about
only-
Davidi's class?
Yeah, Davide.
Also, yeah. I'm taking that as well.
You are? When's your lab day?
The discussion day?
Yeah,
Tuesdays.
Tuesdays.
Yeah. Or are you looking for a group? Is that where you're?
Yeah, I'm on Mondays.
But you can, yeah, kind of side note. But you can always look at the Piazza. I think they're doing like you can put up like a post or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm also new to Piazza, so I'm still trying to figure out how that whole system
get
works
you.
out.
I get you.
Oh well.
I can, if you want after or something, I can always help you figure that out.
That would be great. Is there any homework assignments that we need to do before Monday? Aside from the posting the articles about marketing?
Yeah, there's a couple, there's like asynchronous content, and it's on the Blackboard also. He posted it, but to watch some videos. Yeah, so if you go on our Blackboard, you'll see it though, under
Okay.
content. Yeah.
Is there anything else from chapter 5 that's like key to go over, or pretty straightforward at this point?
You guys
I'm going.
like,
That's pretty.
oh, go
Yeah,
ahead.
you're good to go. You're good.
I was gonna say, do you guys like understand the whole? She didn't lecture about it, like all the index stuff that was at the end of the chapter.
Oh, the last breeze and
Index.
Yeah.
Yeah, do we need to like know? We need to like know that.
I hope we don't need to know it because she didn't put it in the lecture, but
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
you never
Was that
know. That might be like a
5.6?
We haven't gotten quizzes.
that was a 5.
But was it like chapter 5 or was it 5.5 or 5.6?
I think that was
that was
5.6, so
Yeah.
it's not
We don't have
technically a part
to-
of the lecture. I just still wrote
Yeah.
it down just in case.
Yeah, I just wrote it down too.
I just didn't read it. It's fine.
Yeah, I like wrote it down, but I didn't really like get it because she didn't really lecture about it either. So
I think if it's
Yeah.
not in the lecture, then we're not going to be tested on it, right? Because I remember her saying that the only, like, if it's in the post or the pre-lecture quiz, it's only going to be what she's lecturing on, which are in the slides. So I feel like that's all that we could be tested on, right?
oh,
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's how it works.
Yeah.
Wait, did you say like only the units covered in the lecture slide? Something
Because it
about
says on like one of the first parts of each lecture, like what she's going to be lecturing on, like from the book. And she was like, yeah, you won't, in the pre-lecture quiz, you won't be quizzed on anything, like anything other than what she lists on that slide. So I'm assuming that's what our assessments would be, but maybe I'm wrong.
Oh,
So
I mean,
in my experience, if they'll tell you that's what's on the pre-lecture quiz, study that for the pre-lecture quiz. But when it comes to actual testing, I would study it just in case.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because it's
okay.
fair game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Okay.
wait, what material did she like was kind of extra?
marginal utility budget line. MRS.
Oh no, I meant like the material that we're confused about. If
The
it was on
index stuff?
index.
like
I don't know because I didn't really read it. But
Here's index and like posh, whatever that is, index.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically everything in this section titled cost of living indexes.
Cost
Yeah.
of-
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that like 5.6?
Yeah,
Yeah.
5.6.
Oh, and chain weighted price.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
yeah.
did not make any sense today, but that's probably fair game.
'Cause I don't know. I emailed her about it. I was like, "Oh, are we only responsible for reading the textbook for the units that she listed on the lecture slides?" And she was like, "Yep, you're only responsible for that material." So I don't know what that means, but I guess
She
you guys.
also she didn't really go over the rationing stuff either, but that was on the
Yeah.
Rationing?
the what's it called, post lecture quiz. So I don't know.
Rationing?
I feel like rationing is going to be fair game, even if she didn't cover it.
Yeah.
To be clear, is the post-lecture quizzes just the homework assignments on Pearson?
They count as a quiz grade, but it's like homework.
Okay, just to
Yeah.
be sure. I pulled such a dunce move. I went under assignments and it just showed me the homework, and I thought that was the pre-lecture quiz I had to do. So I missed the chapter 5 pre-lecture quiz.
Oh, it's okay. She drops a few of the lowest scores, I think.
I know, but it's still
Yeah,
fun.
like
Yeah, she drops two.
Yeah.
It's not that much.
Oh.
It's terrifying.
Sorry, I just kind of joined. Have we been like doing anything? Did I miss anything like important?
Eh, just going over some random stuff.
Yeah, we just been
Yeah,
talking.
I've been
It's
doing
all
That's
that.
what's been hard.
clarification. Hi, girly. What are you doing?
Hmm?
Sorry. Get. Go.
I guess I'll start.
Is
Do you-
anyone gonna go to office
Questions that she was
hours?
doing. Oh, sorry. I didn't realize someone was talking.
What were
Do you
you
guys get
saying?
those questions? Oh, so I keep interrupting you. Zoom is horrible because you can't read social cues.
Yeah.
Did you guys get those questions at the end, like of the lecture, the bananas, apples, whatever? Anybody? Did that make sense?
I don't remember what the exact question was.
Yeah,
I think maybe she went over it at the end of our lecture, right?
I was zoned out at the end of the
Yeah, that
lecture.
one. The one that I just like kind of tuned out. I was so lost.
Yeah, I was lost by that point too, honestly, but I know what you're talking about.
Wait, let me try pulling it up.
I just went
What about
back
that?
to the recording. I just like watched the end, like the last.
Wait, are you talking about question 6
Yeah, that one.
with the Cobb Douglas?
Yeah, that one was.
So I have it written down, but I know what you're talking about, where she kind of just was like, okay, A is equal to 24 is equal to B, and everybody was kind of just like, what? And she's like, okay, bye.
Oh, that one.
Literally how it went. I was like, are you kidding me? So
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you guys at least get number 5? I got it, but I did it a different way, and then I asked her if I could do it that way. She was like, no, you just got lucky by doing it that way. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh yeah, that was so tough.
Jeez.
I feel like I understand it, but okay, you
Like-
said question number 5.
Yeah, let me look at 5.
What assignments are you guys talking about?
It's
It was
on
from the
It's
lecture.
from the
I
lecture.
think.
Like lecture. Yeah,
Oh, is it
5.
just the?
Like
Okay.
if you go to the lecture slides, there's questions at the end that she did in class.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
So
Question 5 is the one with like Julia can consume X and Y. The graph below represents an indifference curve. All other indifference curves are parallel.
Mhm.
The price of good X is $8 and the price of good Y. And if Julia has $400 to spend, then she will buy blank of units X.
Yeah, so basically here, because you know the budget curve is always linear, right? And then this indifference curve is linear also. So basically, it means it's either parallel with the budget curve or it's a corner solution, right? Because there's no like curve to have that maximum point on. So basically, what you need to do here is figure out if the corner solution is on X or Y, right? So that's why you're comparing the slopes of both lines. So if the absolute value of the slope of the budget line is less than the absolute value of the slope of the indifference curve.
Oh, I get
yeah.
what you're saying. You
Yeah.
can find out, okay, that makes more sense.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so you would do like, you would find the marginal rate of substitution and then compare that to the price of good X over the price of good Y. Got it.
Mhm.
So that'd be like 8/10 and then 7/5, I guess. How did she
Yeah.
get 7/5?
Yeah, because you can find the MRS by horizontal over vertical.
Ah,
but
gotcha.
the normal slope is just vertical over horizontal.
Got it.
Yeah,
So
that part kind of confused me for a little bit. So I was like,
yeah, I was like, why is the MRS? Okay, no, that makes sense. Gotcha. So then 7/5 is greater than
Mhm.
8/10. So therefore, it's like a corner solution. So this is the MRS slope. And then this is the budget line. So if the MRS is more steep than the budget line. Sorry, my brain. Budget line is less steep and the MRS is more steep. So yeah, that's a corner solution at the vertical axis. So yeah, they'd consume all Y. Gotcha. And then you would
No, it would be of X because the slope of the budget curve would be 8/10, which is less than 7/5. So it would intersect at the X axis.
Okay, wait, then there's my question. How do you know if it intersects at the X? Because can't it be like this and then it's just like steep like that? Do you get what I'm saying?
I'm thinking, I actually never thought of that.
Yeah, it's like if we're talking about steepness, it can be at either like intersection. Like, yeah, because right now I'm looking at it and it's like, so here's this is the, what is this?
Wait a
This is
second.
the MRS line, and then if this is like less steep, it could be here, right? Or it could be underneath.
Let me check. I think there was like a rule somewhere.
It was, okay, yeah, maybe there is. Okay, so if the PP over PC, that's like if you go up a slide, consumer choice. So if the MRS is less than the budget line, what? Okay, if the MRS is less than the budget line, right? Is that what it's saying? So this is more steep. My brain.
Wait, doesn't it have to do with what the market wants versus what you personally want? So like
Yeah, I
if
did
you,
say that.
yeah, so it's
Okay.
like
Yeah.
it's like if you value, because I'm looking at the question 7 with the perfect substitute, I wrote down
Okay.
that the like it was the same situation where the marginal rate of substitution was greater than the price, the ratio. So I wrote down on the side, I'm willing to give up more banana for one extra apple. I value
Okay.
apples more than the market, so my entire income will be spent on the apples.
Okay. So since your MRS is greater than the budget line, that means that you value it more than society?
Yeah, you value it more than like, I guess the typical person like on the market would. So like you're gonna spend more of your money trying to get that extra apple than a regular I guess like regular person would.
Gotcha. So
So
then
I guess that's
let
what it
me
means.
check that. So then yeah, if the MRS is okay, if the MRS is greater than the budget line, then you value that good more than society, so you get a corner solution on the horizontal axis. But then if the MRS is less than the budget line, then society values it more than you do, so it'll be a corner solution at Y. I think, yeah, because it's talking about good X on the horizontal, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not
Sorry.
totally
Obtain another good. So it's like good. You value something more than the society for a perfect substitute. So like if you value good X more than good Y, then that would mean you'd have a corner solution on the horizontal axis, and that would mean that your marginal rate of substitution is greater, because when you think of it, MRS, you calculate that by doing like the price of what you get over what you give. So I think that would make sense, because you'd give a greater amount of good Y to obtain good X, if that makes any sense, I think. Anybody correct me on that if you're not following, or I don't. Okay.
I'm lost in general. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm so
Yeah, it's
lost.
okay.
I think I just need to like
I would tell you if
reread
I.
the chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I'm
sorry.
just gonna
It's
rewatch the
so hard to.
lecture.
What? Sorry.
Oh no, keep going.
Oh, I thought someone said something. Yeah, I'm just trying to make sense of it. Like I'm looking at the slide, I'm looking at the picture. I'm just trying to understand like why, because yeah, like that, like I was saying earlier, because you could have like a steeper or more less sloped line in any place. So I'm just trying to make sense of what it means. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna rewatch the lecture.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that too because I'm so lost. It's so bad. But yeah, I have to go have dinner, but thank you guys so much for setting this up. It was very helpful in the future. This will be super helpful too, but bye.
Hi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, Paulina, I think I understand it. So
You get what?
it's like,
Okay.
I sorry, I tuned out the whole time you were talking earlier, but the thing is you have to assume that the budget curve is inside the indifference curve, right? Because if so the budget curve is less steep than the indifference curve, right? So this would be in the indifference curve, this would be the budget curve. If the indifference curve was down here, then that's less utility than the indifference curve
Oh,
here.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay. I get
So
what you're
that's why
saying.
it'd be a mix, yeah.
Sure. So, and I think another thing that I figured out, so I'm trying to write it out on my paper right now. So when you're calculating MRS, that's you put like the price of what you get over the price of what you give, correct? So then if you value, okay, now I lost myself. Oh, I thought I had it. Dang it. Never mind. I think so. The price of what you get over the price of what you give. What pain. Well, if the MRS is greater than the budget line, that means it's more steep. That's confusing.
Why is there an extra on chapter 6? It says like extra section this.
For chapter 6, we're reading all the sections, right? It's not like subdivided by anything.
I don't know. I mean, it says section 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and then extra section 6.5.
Oh, what the heck? So you just have to read all of them, okay?
I guess.
Okay, the one thing that's a little frustrating about all this like math stuff, it's not in my book. Like, is it in your guys' book or am I just crazy?
Math.
What book? Do you have your own book or do you use the online Pearson ebook thing?
I have my own book. I have like the 3rd edition and it's supposed to be
I
the
get you.
same thing.
Okay, it might be. I was just because I only have the online one.
For the online one, does it talk about the math, like all the different functions and things like that?
Oh yeah, it didn't include like the Cooperman stuff or whatever. Wait, what is he even called?
The Douglas Cobb. Is that?
Oh, whoops.
I'm
Cobb salad.
I think you're looking at my last name.
Yeah. I probably just got it stuck in my head. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Yeah, the Cobb. The Cobb
Douglas Cobb, Cobb Douglas, whatever it's called. That stuff. Okay, that wasn't in your books either. I'm not going crazy, right? Like that wasn't there.
Yeah, no.
Okay,
She
good.
didn't. So I took a picture of one of her slides while she was lecturing, and it was like where she had the specific utility functions, and she listed the Cobb Douglas perfect substitutes and perfect complements, and then it had like it written out like like what does it look like?
Yeah,
so like the Cobb
for,
Douglas
correct.
was multiplication, perfect substitutes was addition, and then I don't even know what the hell this
perfect complement is like the minimum of like AX comma.
Yeah, but I don't even know. I
what
really
does
don't
this
even know.
mean?
Yeah, exactly. Like I
There's no
I look at
background.
that and I'm like, what?
Like literally, she just gave us that stuff and expected us to understand what it meant.
And then also her derivatives, very weird way of deriving. I don't know.
She doesn't derive things correctly, and furthermore, she doesn't know the slopes of lines. This is not the slope of like 0. This is like, am I crazy? Like this is not infinite. Like
yeah.
Oh, are you talking about when she was doing like the perfect complement stuff? And she was like 1/0 is infinity, and I was like,
I didn't understand
that.
that.
Have you heard of L'Hopital's?
I know.
Have you heard of implicit differentiation? Have you taken calculus?
I said that the first.
You're talking about the math.
Yes, she doesn't do math correctly. It bothers me.
If you take it at the limit, sure, it's right, but she's
but it's not the limit. It's 1/0. You know, like, bro, there's a reason that 1/0 is not infinity.
So when you do let me ask real quick. When you do the derivative, when you're doing those types, you only do the derivative for the for which ones out of the 3, the perfect complement, supplement, or
I think it's Doug Coblis is the one that you do derivatives on because it has exponents.
So that's the only one. Okay. So
So on question 7 that she did on her lecture, she also did.
She did a perfect substitute.
Oh,
yeah, if you have like Because with perfect substitutes, that's what happens. She'll do her derivatives, and then the y will just go away, like magic. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't do the implicit. Okay.
I think it can be
Mhm.
considered a constant when you're doing a derivative, but I'm not sure. It's been a minute since I took calc. Because if it's considered a constant, then it can disappear. But
Well, she is considering it as a constant. It's just weird
She
for us
must,
because
or
I've never
else it's
seen
just
that.
incorrect.
Yeah.
No. I've asked her. That was the first question I ever asked, and she said it is a constant. So,
Okay.
Okay, then.
yeah.
It's just weird to think that it's a constant.
Yeah, the way it's put, it doesn't look like a constant.
Yeah, it doesn't work in
Yeah.
my math brain like that. When I see a y, I want to put dy over dx. It's just my natural habit.
Okay, bye guys. It was like nice having this.
It's good talking
we're
with you
all
guys.
trying to help each
Yeah.
other. It's not
Yeah, I
really
feel like this trombone's gonna be kind of annoying then.
See ya.
All right,
See ya.
see ya. And,
So is anybody getting this, or are we just kind of vibing?
I understood the first part of I want to say the lecture, and then when it got towards the end, I was legit not understanding anything she was doing. I was very lost.
the moment you pulled out
Yeah,
a
I think I
derivative,
get
I was
definitely
lost.
everything.
Yeah, she went really. She even said at the end like, "Sorry for going too," but that was like a little too quick. Like she would go over something and we didn't even have time to like look at the slide when she was done. She'd immediately like that's just not. To me, it's not fair. So hopefully she'll go a little.
I processed like for 10 minutes after the lecture, like, okay, what are my notes actually saying? Like, just to see. And I was still confused. But yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I have a random question. So if you have like an indifference curve and then a budget line, at like the maximization point, will the indifference curve always be tangent? Like
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the maximization point, correct.
Okay. That makes sense.
Mhm.
So why did I get this one? Okay, I'm doing the homework right now and I got another one wrong. And it's like I don't know if it's like the one with like the food and clothing and like it asked for the MRS, so the MRS at the max, like the maximization point would be the price of food over the price of clothing, right? Because that's like the ratio should be equal to the MRS at the maximization point. And then like the next part of the question was like asking if he instead consumed less clothing but more food, like his MRS would be less than the maximization point, right? I'm so confused. Like,
Can you?
What if it's less clothing?
Yeah, can you show a picture?
Yeah.
I'm kind of like I'm not.
Or share your screen. Do you know? Are you on the computer?
My computer isn't updated, so it won't let me share it. But I can like take a picture of my screen and like.
Yeah.
Do you want to put it in the group? The group.
Yeah, I
whatever.
can put it in the group chat.
Yeah. Are you putting it in the?
I'm like
Seda?
totally not an auditory person, so like you were saying all the words in my brain.
Yeah, I
like,
feel. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, I'll send it in the group.
Elena. Do you know of any like good YouTube resources since you've like taken the course or taken it at community or your other institution before and like have experience like with like
Wait,
the
what?
terminology?
I didn't. I've never taken micro.
I don't really know a lot of good YouTube sources. I'm a book learner first and foremost. So basically, I'm a pack rat. I only take notes, and it's repetition for me. I'm sorry.
Sorry,
That's fine. I think what you said about the like drawing the graphs, like I took AP macro and micro, and that's what helped me the most when like like you said, like learning how to do the graphs and like learning what each like if you move demand or if you move supply and like all that, like what does it do? I think that will help me a lot with this in terms of like getting more in getting more familiar with like MRS and like what happens to the budget line if like I don't know, like price of one good changes or something like that, like you said, drawing it over again will definitely help with that. But in terms of like I guess like understanding it from like reading the book, like that's what I think I'm having the biggest trouble with. Like the book sucks in my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah. For me, I guess I'm just I'm better at understanding things conceptually versus the actual application of certain concepts. So um, I would say, especially for you, Janice, since you're taking the homework right now, the thing that helped me the most on the homework was the fact that I took notes on the graphs, and especially the little side notes with the graphs. They would explain certain things that there would be like 1 or 2 questions on there that I remember were referencing certain graphs. I don't know if that'll still help you. I don't know at what point in the quiz you are, if it's different. Because I remember the last time I had a class with Pearson, they scrambled the questions for each student. I don't know if they're doing that here, but that might help you next time.
Thank you. Yeah, like reading through the textbook is like, there's so much information all at once that it's kind of.
Yeah, this was daunting for me too. I've never had this long of a chapter in order to take notes for.
Yeah. Okay, so I sent it in the group chat for like the second question. Apparently, I got it.
Yeah, I'm looking.
I don't understand. Like, I don't get it.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm looking.
More food and less clothing. Well, that means like the numerator. Numerator.
Anybody hear that? Am I tripping?
Might be me.
No, you're not. I hear it too.
Wait, everybody going?
Yeah, I think it was Carl. It was Carlos.
Yeah, it's me. There's a fan going on.
There's a what?
A fan. He said it's hot out there.
Oh, fan. I was like, pan? Why would a pan make that noise?
Hi again. Okay.
Janice, I have no clue again. I don't personally.
Like when I drew it like that, it like makes sense, but then I don't understand why it's not right.
Which part of this did you get wrong?
It didn't tell me.
I'm looking right now at what I put.
Okay, this may not be right, but so if the marginal rate of substitution is what we're willing to give up in return for 1 unit of the other product, what you got right, it did show this. What you got right was that the marginal rate of substitution for Julio is 0.67, which is the price of food divided by the price of clothing.
Right.
So that's basically how much food you would give up for 1 article of clothing, right? So in this situation, you would value food more because you're willing to give up less of it. Does that make sense? So what you wrote next was that if Julio instead is consuming a bundle with more food and less clothing than his utility maximizing bundle, which is already a pretty small number, then his marginal rate of substitution will be less than. That is incorrect. It would be more than, because he's consuming more food, which means that he would want to give up more clothing.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Don't you have to like compare the marginal rate of substitution to like what the market is going to be? Because that's what the professor said, and I like, I don't get why, but that's what she told me to do. And she said, like, don't think of it like that. You're not allowed to. It's like, you're lucky you got that.
That's
Like, I
that's
don't
the
get-
really confusing thing, is that on the one hand, you are supposed to compare to the market, but at the same time, the market is treated in a very individual sense. So market is a very broad term. When you're dealing with a specific consumer, you are dealing with their issues and their issues alone. I don't know why she said you're supposed to compare to the market value, because that's a different concept that we work at in the future. Like, say that the market value price of a tomato versus a cucumber is $2, but let's say that your neighbor doesn't really like tomatoes and he only values it as $1 compared to a cucumber, which he values as $3. That's something else entirely than what we're dealing with here.
Like, I'm looking at this question that was the example of like the corner solution, whatever, but in order to find out like whether or not you valued X or Y, you had to compare the marginal rate of substitution to get good X and give up good Y. You'd have to compare that to like the price of X over the price of Y. So then you would do like what you gave up of what, like you would first the indifference curve, like you're not really given an indifference curve though, and you're not really told. Let me see, is there any?
Is this question 5?
Yeah, I'm looking at the yes, on the slides.
Okay, so this is the indifference curve.
Right, yeah. I'm
if
just
you're
trying to
looking at
compare it to the other question, which you're not given an indifference curve or anything like that.
Which other question?
Hmm?
Which other, the question that was sent in chat?
Yeah, I'm trying to, is that like the same? Are you supposed to compare that to like anything, you know?
So,
Okay, so
it's kind of the same. I'm trying to figure out how to explain this. Let's start with question 5 in the lecture slides.
okay.
So the question is, how many units of X will Julia buy, right?
Right.
So we're given the price of product X, which is on the horizontal axis, and we're given the price of product Y, which is on the y-axis.
Right. Yep.
X is clearly less costly than good Y. If she has $400 to spend, how many units will she spend of X?
Right.
Already, I'm going to assume that this is a corner solution. I cannot tell you why. It's just second nature to me.
Well, it's a corner solution because the indifference curve is it's
Then
not a
that's
curve of any sort. Yeah.
Then that's very good. Basically,
The
I
way
guess
she
just
did it,
somewhere in my head.
she took the marginal rate. So like the way I did it instinctively is I just took the MRS and I was like, oh, I compared it because it's 7/5. Therefore, that she values more X because she'll give up more Y for it, correct? But she
Yeah.
said you're not allowed to do it. You must compare it to the budget line. Like I don't know why, but she said you have to take the MRS 7/5 and compare that and see is that MRS greater than the slope of the budget line, yes or no? And then from there you can go and say which you're going to allocate it to. Which it didn't make sense to me because it's like if that person values in their MRS, they state that they value more X because it's 7/5 rather than 5/7. Why do you need to compare it to the market? That's why I'm really confused.
Because
Yeah.
at no point in this question does it reference the market value.
Yeah, but
So
she made a point to tell me that's like not correct to do it the way that I'm like, and you are saying too, like instinctively it makes sense to me. They value more Y. I'm sorry, they value more X than they do Y.
I think this is one of those situations where either the professor just made a translation error, or there's going to be a problem one day where we're going to do this exact thing, this instinctive thing that we're doing, and it's gonna turn out wrong, and then we'll see the error. I don't know, but in this situation, I don't see anything wrong with how you and I have done it because it makes more sense this way.
Yeah, I think maybe the only thing I can ever think of is, so if you go up a little bit on the slides and you look at consumer choice, it's like you have to compare the MRS to the price of, the slope of the budget line. And if it, yeah, I don't know. I'm like it's really beyond me. I don't know why we have to do it that way. But if I'm looking at this question, if Julio is consuming a bundle with more food and less clothing, I'm a little bit confused just like reading that one too, but this is not the same. Like you don't have to.
I tried drawing
This is
it.
not the same.
I
I'm on that
tried
same
drawing
question.
for the Julio question. I tried drawing it, and
Mhm.
so if at the maximization point that we found, like in the first part of the question, the 0.67, right?
Yeah.
That would mean that the budget line and then the indifference curve are tangent, right? Because it's at the maximization point.
Yes.
So if his new point, so if that's that point right there, and then his new bundle is right here because he said he got more food but less clothing, right? So it's here.
Mhm.
The new indifference curve would have a lower utility, right? So it'd be on the new indifference curve would be on the left of his.
So,
Max-
okay, that's it. That's the different utility, but we're talking about the marginal rate of substitution. So in this case, it's the ratio more than anything else. So you have a larger bundle of clothing. Wait, what was on the x-axis versus y-axis again?
X was food, Y was clothing.
Okay, so you have a larger amount of food and less of clothing.
Mm-hmm.
In this situation, we know that Julio values food over clothing. In a bundle where he has more food and less clothing, his marginal rate of substitution is going to be larger because he's less willing to give up his food. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but then on the the help part, it said that as you go as you go along the x-axis, the MRS decreases because it's a convex indifference curve. So
So
Yeah,
that's a
wait, so
convex
drew
indifference
your
curve.
line
In this
like-
case, the indifference curve is a constant slope. Hi there. Stop licking my armpit.
Wait, did you draw? Yeah, I agree with you. You drew your line like this, or what? Can you show me the picture again that you were?
I got the budget line is obviously, and then wouldn't this be a Cobb Douglas because it's
Yeah, it's not constant. I thought you drew like a straight line. I was really confused.
No.
I was like, I don't think that's, yeah.
So what is the so if this is a new point, if this is this new bundle right here, this is the point, wouldn't the new the new
Yeah, no, if
indifference
it's like
left.
this, wouldn't the MRS be less?
That's what I'm thinking, but apparently, and then the new indifference curve would be on the left of the maximization bundle, obviously, but because the indifference curves can't intersect, but apparently it's not right.
But you still drew it on the indifference curve. So I think that's the error in your graph.
The new bundle isn't on my old indifference curve. It's on a new indifference curve.
It's not supposed to be, I don't think, because that point, it's like only tangent to the line of the utility maximization. You're going to have a lower
maximization or budget line?
Hmm?
I'm sorry, I'm still confused by the graph, but that's just me.
So
I got the lines confused for some reason. I keep on thinking that the marginal rate of substitution is just that straight graph that you were doing rather than
that's the budget line.
The budget line is straight, but the marginal rate of substitution, it can depend. It can be, if it's straight, it's perfect substitute. If it's like this, it's perfect complement. If it's convex, it's like, I think like just normal, good Cobb Douglas kind of situation. And then if it's like outward bowed, it's like an addictive drug.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, so I think, yeah, I don't know. Why is that wrong? Then his marginal rate of substitution will be less than 0.67 because he will be consuming on an.
What number was that on your homework? I'm gonna see if I can open up my previous answers.
On mine,
you can't. I'm pretty sure. I tried, but if you can, that would be cool.
What number was it?
Mine, it was 16.
I just finished. Okay. I just finished my version.
Oh wait, no, it was exercise. It was question 13.
Question 13.
Did they switch up the numbers? I think they always do that.
They probably did. I can open up my numbers.
It was question 13. Yeah, I just did it. It was question 13.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Oh, wait a minute.
I didn't know. Did you guys need the answer? Is that what the problem was? Is that I was like
So we
kind of
just don't understand why, like, the one that I sent in
Yeah,
the group,
why?
that would be wrong.
Is
I
it to the
got-
left?
Let me look at the. Yeah.
I got the same thing as you, actually. Are you absolutely sure that it said it was wrong?
Yeah.
No,
Also,
it's to the right. It's to the right. It's to the right.
Yeah. So microwave
Okay.
substitution is less
My
than,
mistake.
and then it goes to the right.
It goes
Why
to
would
the
it-
right because on the curve, like let's just
Mhm.
say, kind of try to draw for you. Let's say the curve's right here, right? This is the original point. You're getting
Mhm.
more food now, which is on the x-axis, so you're going more down this way. More food, less clothing. So it's asking
if
for
the
the.
bundle is on the right and not the curve.
Yes, I'm pretty sure. Let me reread the.
I thought it was asking if the curve was on the left or the right.
Oh, yeah.
it's
Oh,
asking
that's
about the
dumb.
A
I thought
bundle,
it was asking
consuming
about
a
the curve.
bundle. Yeah.
That makes so
Oh,
much more
that's
sense.
a
I was like,
pain.
I was
Okay.
like, that makes no sense. But okay, okay.
Okay, that, yes.
They should have worded that better, but
I
Yeah,
know,
the
that's
wording's
so
terrible.
dumb.
But let me
Wow.
ask you guys real quick, just for that question, because I kind of guessed on the first part. Why is it? Because I did another kind of similar question. Why is it less than again?
Okay. My mistake earlier with thinking that it was greater than or so. Okay. Wait, hold on a second. I'm getting ahead of myself. Give me a second.
So, okay, just to simplify matters, if this person was already at the utility maximization, if you were to move any sort of value away from that, you're going to get less utility.
So that's why it's less than. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
then
and
you
we
just need
said
to
that was
figure out
for
whether
math.
it's more to the right or to the left by like looking at your actual graph. That's a
Okay.
simple question, but it's worded so confusingly.
Yeah. It's,
I do not stand her.
thank you.
Okay.
Okay. I also
Yeah.
have a quick question. For
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Barely. You're like super quiet.
Oh shoot. Can you hear me now? Sometimes I.
Not really. Yeah, like you were really clear now. I wonder what happened. Did your like headphones disconnect or something?
My headphones and my computer in general is super weird with my input audio. For some reason, it never picks up on me, and that's why I got this headset. But even still, it just doesn't pick up on it.
Weird.
Sometimes.
Yeah, you're like super quiet. I'm really trying my hardest to listen right now. I'm like deaf.
I'm sorry. Here, give me a second. I'll try and fix it up.
Hey, try working on when you see mute. Try clicking on like the top arrow. It gives you like some options, and then you can select a microphone. You're turned off. Try clicking mute again. Oh, that's weird. Nope, you're completely off.
No.
Because usually from my wireless earbuds, it does the same thing too, where I have to like disconnect and reconnect and messing around with the microphone settings.
Yeah, same here. I usually change it on Zoom or just on my computer.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm not sure why it doesn't stay consistent.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, you're back, but it's
Back?
still kind of
Okay.
low though.
Yeah, it's still like low, but we
Yeah.
can hear you.
It's
Yeah.
better than before.
The test speaker and.
Oh, this is a lot better. Yeah, it's not the same, but it's like definitely I can hear you now, at least.
Okay. Well, if you guys can hear me now, I just had a question about people who finished the homework. I got everything right, but there are little, on the right side of the questions, there are little red or magenta colored splotches, and I'm not sure what they mean. Does anybody else have those too?
It means that required a graph.
Yeah, it just means you need an econ graph.
Okay. All right then.
Wait, so if you have multiple like indifference curves and they're all parallel, does it mean they all have that doesn't mean they have the same utility though, right?
No,
I don't think so.
because the more you go outward, the more utility you get.
Yeah. It doesn't show by like how much, but you can just say like
You can rank them.
right, like U2 is higher than U1.
Yeah,
Well,
but
you'll
if it's
just-
like 50 and 100, it's not twice much more satisfaction. It's just.
Even how the MRS is related to the utility.
So when the slope of the MRS is equal to the slope of the utility, or the indifference curve, then you maximize utility. That's how they're related. And when you relate those two, that's when you can pick what combination of goods you'll get, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that is really the only relation. I'm still a little bit confused though about, okay, I haven't done like the homework yet. Is there any of those like Cobb-Douglas type derivative questions on the homework that we need to know?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Near
Not
the
not
end,
that
and
I
I haven't
remember.
had any derivative yet.
Yeah, not
Okay.
really.
Cool. I'm still a little bit confused though about the corner solutions when we're looking at perfect substitutes, because when we're talking about like different sloped lines, if the slope of the budget line is greater than the MRS, that means that the budget line, okay, here's my budget line. If this is steeper than the MRS, can't my MRS be here as well as here? Like, how do you know which corner solution it is? Do you get what I'm saying?
Oh, like if
I
you're
think
only given values, like which one, like where it'd be located on a graph.
yeah, I
What?
think the clue will be if you're given a numerical value. I think your
Okay.
clue is going to be in the math.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm like looking at the examples and there is no math when I'm looking at like this. Yeah, it's a little confusing.
Is it an example in the in one of the notes that she gave us?
The only example for the notes is that question 5, and I'm confused why we had to compare it to the market. Like I get that we had to compare MRS to the PX over PY to see like where the corners. Yeah, I'm still confused.
So is there?
Yeah, I don't know. The only example question is number 5, and I don't even see how that's really related.
I would just say ignore the fact that you, for right now, ignore that you had to compare it to the market.
Okay.
Because I'm not exactly sure what that means right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
That's
then
okay, though.
just do math.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I have a question. Have you guys done supply and demand yet?
Like in macro?
Micro.
Is that in chapter 6? Because I haven't gotten to chapter. Oh, yep, that's all in chapter 6.
Oh, well, because that's literally our second homework, supply and demand.
Okay.
I was wondering if I can share my screen with you guys real quick and see if you guys might maybe know this problem.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I've done demand before in my macro class, and it was like overlapped with micro, so maybe I'll know without actually demand.
As far as I'm
It's
aware,
number 14.
chapter 6 is only on demand.
Oh, chapter 6
Okay,
is just demand. Okay. Yeah, individual market.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's yeah. Okay.
I'll just type something in the chat. Hold on.
At least demand is something I've seen before. I don't know if you guys have ever seen like this other.
Inverse demand.
Yeah, I've never seen any of this.
It's like, what the heck?
I've never.
I mean, if you graph it and then you take like what is the complement, like see whether it's closer to perfect substitute or perfect complement, maybe, but I don't know. Like I don't know what the content is in the chapter.
Yeah, wait, we're.
Okay, so my only guess would be to set the inverse demand curve for product X equal to the inverse supply curve of product X, and then you'll have, okay, then you have what the price for product Y is. So then I think you'll just have an equation where you have to solve for quantity demanded versus quantity supplied. And After that, I'm not entire. Oh no, wait, that's part B. Okay.
Have you tried graphing it? Graphing's a-
Yeah, but I'm not that great with graphing, to be honest. I can try to maybe use a graphing calculator, but I'm not sure if that'll help.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, I think I'm gonna go do the quiz or the whatever homework for 5. I cannot be any help with 6, so sorry about that. But thanks guys for
All
helping.
good.
Hopefully we can have
Okay.
more of these. This was helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm also
Right.
gonna go for my homework.
Yeah.
All right. Bye guys.
Yeah,
Bye.
no problem. See ya. I'm actually gonna end it to I need to do seaside homework and do econ tomorrow.
Good luck. That's a lot.
Yeah. Yep. So thank y'all for coming.
Thanks for having this.
I'm gonna
I
try and host
appreciate
some
it,
more.
especially when you guys
Thank
are
you,
talking
Carlos.
Yes, thanks for
to
hosting.
chapter 5.
Yeah, no problem. I think I'm gonna host it either this week or the week after. I'm probably just gonna do it like every week, and whoever wants to talk about like class and the material, you can just
Sounds
come
good.
in.
Thank you, Carlos. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. All right, have a good
Alright,
one, guys.
bye.